Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here on the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel. We are continuing this look because apparently we like to experience pain, but we're going to continue to look at this Steelers loss to the Ravens in the playoffs, figure out what went wrong. I really encourage you to go watch part one of the series. I will put the link below in the description. Really encourage you to watch that before we get into this because it will play a role. But here we're going to look at series 2 and 3 for the Ravens. Again, we're looking at every run carry. There is one run carry I did not put in this, and that was a tush push. Nothing to break down there. It's a near automatic play. But by the time we're done with this, we're going to start to see the wheels starting to fall off, and it will be barely... by the time this is done, we are at 4 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. So, all right, let's go through this. We have a lot of plays to go through. Second series is actually pretty good for the Steelers. They forced the Ravens to punt. Only had 6 plays for 34 yards. The biggest play was a pass play from Lamar Jackson to Isaiah Likely. But only 2 run plays on this. And, the Ravens, I guess, tried to throw a changeup, try to attack him through the air. It didn't work. Steelers defense ended up prevailing. So take a look here. We get a little shift. Really, really watch the linebackers here because this, again, it plays a big role in the way that, for those of you who watched part 1, remember the way that the Steelers wanted to defend the read option here. Remember, if Lamar is running the read option, that means Henry's coming here, and Lamar is going to read this defender. If this defender, I'll get another color, if this defender crashes in on the running back, Lamar will then keep and run. Okay? If this defender stays out here and contains the edge, then Lamar will hand it off, and then Henry will just run whatever direction. Usually it's inside zone. Sometimes it can be duo. It just depends on how it depends on the offense. It's always different. So we get here, and you see here, like what the linebackers are doing is definitely getting Lamar talking. He's communicating. Roberts is showing blitz here. So this, you do see an adjustment. People talk about, the Steelers didn't adjust. Well, there was an adjustment here. So we get to the play. He's running read option. You can see Lamar is looking at this edge defender. But watch Patrick Queen. Watch what he's doing. Lamar sees this too. He sees Queen coming over here. Queen is coming over here. And now he knows, okay, even if Highsmith goes and attacks the running back, even if he crashes down on the running back, as they've been doing, Queen is still right there and he's unblocked. So he has to then hand it off to Henry. Roberts does a phenomenal job. I don't know what is going on here between the center and the guard. Guard is literally blocking nobody other than maybe double teaming Benton, which is kind of dumb because you're leaving Roberts completely unblocked. Roberts is there unblocked. He gets a grasp of Henry's leg, keeps him to a 1-yard gain. So that's the way the Steelers adjusted. Instead of having Fitzpatrick run all the way down from eternity to defend Lamar, if he kept it, now we're going to rotate this linebacker back over here to take away that so that Lamar is pretty much forced to hand the ball off, and now you can try to defend Henry with your big boys up front and with your really good run linebacker and TJ Watt, who's a phenomenal run defender in his own right. That's what you're doing. And that's what they did in the first game. I don't know why the Steelers, when I say the first game, I mean the first game of the season when the Steelers beat the Ravens in Pittsburgh. That's the way they typically did it, was Queen coming over to defend this so that Lamar is pretty much forced to then hand it off to Henry, and then Henry's going to try to win just doing your typical running play. So there's a win there. All right. Second run play. So after that, it was a 5-yard completion. So that was second. That 1-yard run made it 2nd and 9. Then 5-yard completion made it 3rd and 4. Then that's when Jackson hit Isaiah Likely for a 25-yard gain to get to the Steelers' 49-yard line. 1st and 10 here on the Steelers' 49. Ravens are in pistol. They motion Andrews to load up the backfield. Steelers are in their base 3-4 here. You see, 3 down linemen. You got your 2 outside linebackers, 2 inside linebackers, and then you got safety down. So they're showing cover 1 here as well. But this actually is not cover 1. Because if you ever see pretty much these 2 corners pretty much go in a sprint backward like this, that pretty much means they're in cover 3. That's not man coverage whatsoever. So the Steelers are showing man here. Again, you got your 1 high safety. You've got what's looking like press coverage there. Instead, they're actually in cover 3 where this guy's getting this deep third. Safety's got that middle third, and this corner's got this deep third. And then these 4 are dropping into zones underneath. So this is typical cover 3. Lamar, so that's disguising coverage. Lamar doesn't recognize it in time. He tries to then make a play. Steelers collapse in on him, and Lamar ends up getting 2 yards. So great play there. And that was the end of it. That was the end of that series because then after that they tried a quick little pass to Hill. It was a 4-yard loss. Queen with the TFL made it 3rd and 12 and forced the Ravens to punt. All right. Steelers offense didn't do anything. They went 3 and out. Shocker there. Things were falling apart with Russell Wilson not being able to run anything Arthur Smith wanted to do on offense. Here we go. This drive, 13 plays, 85 yards, takes 7 minutes, 56 seconds off the clock. Remember the first series in part 1? That was a 13-play, 95-yard drive that took 7 minutes, 13 seconds off the clock. So you have to also take into account the fact that they've already gone through one of these ridiculous drives before. They already went through one of those 13-play, 95 yards, and that was the first drive of the game. Important context here, okay? So Ravens were like, okay, let's try to, throw a changeup. Let's try to be more aggressive through the air. It didn't work. Then they're like, screw this. We just went down the field 95 yards on the drive before. We're going to try to run it down their throat again. And this goes to show why teams that are determined to succeed with the run continue to run the football. Because this first run, they run this again. Queen is watching. They're doing this, this read option again where Lamar can keep this. And Watt is crashing down on the running back. But Queen is, he's right there. He's fully prepared. And you can see him even go over to defend Lamar. He is right there ready to defend Lamar and take that away. Benton does a great job here of winning his block. Right here in the middle, they're running a what looks to be some sort of maybe mid-zone. It's a wide zone, mid-zone run. Benton gets off of his block. That's a win there. Loudermilk does a good job of getting off of his block. I mean, the defensive line wins on this one, which is what you want to see because it doesn't happen very much after this. I mean, really, really good reps from 92 and 95 there. They get off their blocks, and they end up getting the tackles. Keep Henry to a 1-yard gain. All right, good stuff. That's what you want to do. You want to keep the Ravens in, you want to keep them, far as far back as you want to put them in 2nd and long, 3rd and long. That's what you want to do. You don't want to let any running team be able to turn 1st and 10 into 2nd and 5, and then 2nd and 5 into 3rd and 1. You want to force them to face these 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, and 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 situations. This right here, I think this is just, the Lamar factor. Showing total RPO here. It looks like an RPO, but I think this just might be Lamar predetermining he's just going to keep it. Because you get this receiver coming in, and he kind of runs this little stop right here. And he just kind of sits there and stops. But by the time he actually gets to this stop right here, Lamar is already taking off. So I think Lamar does at least take a look at this because he hits his back foot there. But by the time he actually really hits his back foot, he's already tucking it. And this is where you begin to have to be like, all right, we have to find a way to contain Lamar. Yes, edge rushers have to get out here, and they can't let Lamar get to the outside. But also at the same time, you can't let this hole open up there. And when you see the way, you get the running back coming up, he's going to be throwing a block. This definitely looks like a design quarterback run. And when you're spreading the defense out because you've got 4 wide there, I know this is a tight end, but still it's the formation. You've only got 4 up front here. You've got 2 linebackers, and so at this point it's 6-on-6, and Lamar can do a lot with 6-on-6, and so that's what he does. He ends up getting 8 yards out of this, turning this into 3rd and 1. Let's see from this angle here. He moves the receiver in motion. And see this, it's like these moves here from Benton. It's not that these are bad things, but both defensive tackles, both Ogunjobi and Benton, it's like they try to win to the outside instead of clogging up the middle. And against Lamar, I think you'd almost rather clog up the middle, because if you clog up the middle and you kind of keep this sealed a little bit, then pretty much Lamar's only outlets are kind of through here. Then you're risking, TJ getting off of his block, or if he tries to get through here, then these edge rushers are good edge defenders. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, these are good edge defenders. So I'd say probably try to clog up the middle. Try to clog this up instead of trying to win to the outside like that. Because, you can even see Hill here. He is fully prepared to be coming up here and then throwing a block, which is exactly what he does. Lamar keeps. And he just really runs this straight up the gut. This is straight up the gut. Until they can, Wilson gets a hand on him. But by that time, Lamar by himself just turns 2nd and 9 into 3rd and 1. And you can see Queen here. He begins talking. Again, this is the main communicator on defense, and he's saying something to Benton. You can see there. He's looking in Benton's direction. He's saying something. I don't know what he's saying. I didn't talk to Queen about this after the game. He was sick as a dog. As soon as I saw he was sick, I bolted the other way. That's a very, very small visitor's locker room. I'm not wanting to catch whatever he had, but he was dog sick after that game. But you can see he is definitely communicating something. Whatever it is, something broke down up front. Something did. All right. Tush push by Mark Andrews made it, converted it. That was a 3-yard gain. So now we're 1st and 10 on the 27. So we've got 3 runs that produced a first down. Get used to this. This play here, obviously Ravens are loaded up. You've got an extra lineman here. You got a tight end. And then you got a fullback here. This is, they are loaded up. And, Steelers are in there, they're 3-4. You got your, so this is a 5-man front. A lot of people, nowadays, 3-4 defenses are not what they used to be. This is now a 5-man front. When the Steelers are in their base 3-4, these edge rushers are right up on the line, right here. They're right up on the line. This is a 5-man front. Fullback moves in motion. They run a nice little counter here. And everybody wins their blocks. Everybody wins their blocks. Ogunjobi, Benton, they get washed to the inside here, which is what they want. So that way, when the linebackers go to fill this, you've got 2 guys pulling. This guard right here is able to go over and pull and block TJ. The fullback is following, and he takes away the linebacker. This is just well blocked up. And then even then, you get the tight end coming in over here, and he's able to get to Patrick Queen. And again, the linebackers are reading the running back. So so if you're like, these linebackers are losing their gap integrity, maybe especially Queen, they're reading what Henry's doing. So when Henry starts to move this direction, Queen's like, okay, well, I got to follow the running back. And, he gets washed over, and see right there, he's thinking, okay, well, if this gets sealed off, I have to cover this hole. So Queen is actually playing this the right way. But again, because everybody else wins their blocks, and he comes over, takes this, everybody else wins their blocks. I mean, now you're able to get, this guy coming over. Henry uses his great vision, able to get through. Gets a big gain on first down. 8-yard gain, turns it into 2nd and 2. All right, so 2nd and 2. Again, we got a read option here. Reading the edge rusher. Now, this time, Wilson is playing pretty far off, and Queen is all the way over here. So Queen's not playing Lamar here. Lamar probably sees this prior to the snap. And so he's probably thinking, I'm in the clear here. This edge defender is crashing down on the running back. I even got a guy right here who can possibly block. Wilson's hiding behind. I mean, he cannot see Wilson. Yeah, I mean, he is completely, Wilson is behind. There's just no way Lamar can possibly see Wilson there. And so Wilson gets by, cuts it off. Phenomenal play by Wilson. Tries the ball ripped there. Lamar holds on to it. So again, they are using the linebackers. They're using the off-ball linebackers. It was Queen earlier. Now it's Wilson to then come over and take this away. That's how they're defending this. And they do a good job of it there. All right, so you want adjustments. This is an adjustment. 3rd and 1 here. Ravens hurry up, get to the line. Another loaded formation. Steelers are trying to clog up that middle. They're trying to clog up that middle. You got the linebackers right there. They are clogging. They're clogging. Ravens run a nice little counter. I mean, they do a good job of keeping him to a minimal gain, but it's 3rd and 1. 3 yards is more than enough. I mean, Ogunjobi does a great job here of, getting off of his block and, clogging up that hole. Adams there, I think he tries to get through, but, he just doesn't really get much. Hayward's able to get pushed over. It is what it is. I mean, it's hard to block that up. So, but here we are again. I mean, there's some sort of gain on the ground that has now happened in both of those sets of downs. First set of downs, it was 2nd and 9, turned it into 3rd and 1. 1st and 10 turned it into 2nd and 2. It's hard to keep this offense out of their comfort level if you're not able to stop them on the ground. And now here they are. They're at 1st and 10 again. They're at 1st and 10 again. Let's see here. Okay. This is just a handoff here. Another little counter. So they're trying these counters now. And the Steelers are now starting to play this better. I mean, Hayward, good Lord, man, he's a wrecking ball. You got 2 guys pulling. I remember this from the Chargers game near the beginning of the season. You got 2 guys coming over here to pull. I guarantee you this guy's trying to come over and get Queen, and Hayward just takes them both out. And now Queen's completely unblocked. Henry can't go that way. He's got to go back. Queen, look at that. That's actually really funny. Both Roberts and Queen get in there. Roberts is happy. All right, so again, good job on 1st and 10. Then on 2nd and 8, the Ravens give the Steelers a gift. False start. Turns into 2nd and 13 on their own 36. You got them behind the chains now. This is exactly what you want. You got to get the Ravens in these unfortunate situations. Lamar drops back to pass. Steelers have this pretty well covered up. I mean, covered. Got a guy there. This is covered. Got a guy here. Pretty well covered up. You got 5 guys right here getting after Lamar. You've got him dead to rights, and no, you can't let that happen. No, you can't let that happen. 20-yard gain. I mean, how does... yeah. I mean, edge rushers, again, they're doing their job. They will not let Lamar get to the outside and run to the outside. So it's up to these guys in the middle to make sure that this middle is clogged up. And again, this looks like this could possibly be a lane. He could cut back. This could possibly be a lane. And see, I think he initially wants to go that way, but now Hayward starts to win his block. I mean, you can't ask for any better than this, and Lamar just shrugs off Hayward. Now, granted, this is a 2-time MVP for a reason. This is a phenomenal football player. But this just can't happen. It can't happen. It's this one play per set of downs that just killed them on this series. They get them to 2nd and 13. They're starting to they're defending the read option better now. They, got hurt on the one counter run. Now then the Ravens keep trying to run counter, and then the Steelers start to take that away. But then Lamar, again, he kills them with his legs. Turns 2nd and 13 in the 1st and 10 with a 20-yard gain. So now it's 1st and 10 on the Steelers' 39-yard line. They're going to try to pass again. Lamar just scrambles out. Again, this is well covered up. Steelers are doing a good job. I mean, they got hit for one big gain on the second series, but didn't work out. Otherwise, they're not really getting hurt too much through the air here. They're not really getting to Lamar in the backfield. But if you can hold them to this, if you can hold them to 2-yard gains, off of scrambles, okay, again, it's 2nd and long. How often can you keep this offense in 2nd and 8 and 3rd and 8? How often can you do that? 2nd and 8 here. Problem. Ravens are running read option. What do you think is going to happen? Okay. The way that the Steelers have been defending this, it would probably be because obviously with the running back being on this side, he's going to come here. Lamar's going to read the edge defender. So either it's going to be Henry up the middle or it's going to be Lamar going out this way. The problem is, what are the linebackers doing? They're up on the line of scrimmage. They're not playing off the line of scrimmage like they normally would be, so that Wilson, because he'd be the linebacker responsible, can come over and defend this. Instead, Wilson is now up on the line of scrimmage. Ravens get this favorable look. Wilson is running this. I don't know if this is like some sort of run blitz or what, but now there's nobody over here to cover this. Lamar keeps. Minka runs down, and we're right back to what we were doing in the first series, and he gets the first down. I don't understand the call. You've been defending the read option this way every single time on this series. It's been working. You've been taking it away. You've been limiting it. They haven't been hurting you with it. They've hurt you in other ways. They've hurt you off of the scramble. They hurt you off the quarterback keeper. But they haven't been hurting you in this way on this series. And now yeah. So Lamar gets 9 yards, converts, first down. Ravens here, again, they try this counter. They're okay, we're going to keep testing them, and Steelers clog this up pretty well. Benton absorbs the double team, stands his ground. That helps clear things up for, the lineman can't then come get to the linebacker. That's what you want to see. Linebackers filling this gap. This linebacker is unblocked. And even then, and Henry has nowhere else to go, so he just tries to get through it. Queen then cuts that off. They get the tackle. This is what it looks like when the defensive line wins. When they're able to absorb double teams like this, and now that one of those linemen can't get off the block, now your linebackers are opened up. This is why the Steelers address defensive tackle, because this does not continue throughout the game. But, again, 1st and 10. It's a win. It's a win. Now it's 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain. Now the Ravens are like, all right, we're done running counter. We're done running counter. Now we're going to run wide zone here or outside zone. And this is whenever things start to get broken down because now, I mean, this is clinical blocking up here. I mean, watch. I mean, just the tight end here. He's able to kick Hayward inside and then get up and then get to Queen. That's exactly what you want to do. That's perfect blocking. They get this completely sealed off up here. Dude, that's perfect. That's a perfect seal. Perfect seal. I mean, look at this. Benton gets sealed off, and he even helps seal off Hayward. That's phenomenal blocking. Henry does a good job of keeping the corner to the outside by like forcing, using this track. It's forcing Porter to play this out to the outside, and he knows he has this hole. I mean, Henry's a very smart runner. He's got great vision. And he just cuts this back inside. Roberts is the only guy there. Henry's also really fast on top of being really, really big. 17 yards. Now it's 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. It's just... When the other part of this, look how long this series has been. These guys are tired. The perfect time to try to throw a changeup and completely change the concept. I mean, they've been running counter. That's a gap scheme. You're blocking down on guys. Zone, especially when you're running something like outside zone, you are stretching the defense. You are making them move. You're making them use their athleticism to go sideways when they're already tired. This is good play calling. It's a good changeup based off of everything else that's been happening. And again, this series doesn't continue if they don't let Lamar get that 8-yard gain, or don't let him get that 9-yard gain, or don't let him, rattle off a 20-yard scramble. Got to find a way to contain Lamar. They didn't contain Lamar in this series, and it killed them. Because then, by this point, they're dog tired. I mean, you can even see at the end here. Look at this. Just watch Hayward's body language here, just for a second. He's exhausted. This posture right here, he's exhausted. He's tired. So he's not even on the field here. I mean, you got Loudermilk, you got Moon. Who's that? Oh, that's Ogunjobi. You got Adams, you got Benton. Here, now they're going to run counter again. And remember, when Benton absorbed that double team, remember a couple plays ago? He goes to absorb that double team now. Nope, he gets completely knocked sideways that time. This is what happens, man. Guys get tired. Instead of absorbing a double team, he's also way too tall there. You got to be a little bit lower. You can't. He's almost standing up straight. You stand up straight, you're going to lose leverage. You can get knocked over, and that's what happens. If he stands his ground here and clogs this up, this guy doesn't get to Roberts. Just like it happened on a couple plays ago. That because Benton absorbed that double team and he couldn't get off to get to the linebacker stayed unblocked. But this time, this guy is able to come over here, double him, and then come up here and get Roberts. That's all it takes sometimes, and touchdown. So, another really bad series in a different way this time. But by this point in the game, they have now been gashed for a 95-yard drive and an 85-yard drive. And this one in particular, they moved down the field doing nothing but run the football. Nothing but run the football. Not one play. I understand that there were some pass plays called that Lamar just scrambled, but not one pass attempt. And they went down the field for 85 yards in nearly 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 56 seconds. That is demoralizing for a defense. And by this point in the game, I mean, the Ravens are already completely dominating time of possession. The Steelers, to this point, have had drives of 3 minutes, 2 seconds, 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Their 3 combined drives can't even equal, I'm no mathematician here, but I'm pretty sure that they don't even equal what this series was alone. And the Ravens have already had another series of 7+ minutes in which they scored a touchdown. By this point, the defense is pretty much shot. Let's just be completely clear here. The defense is shot by this point. They've given up 2 long drives. The offense isn't holding on to the football. They're done. I mean, the Steelers' offense has had 2 3-and-outs by this point. The Steelers' first series, they had the ball first. They went 6 plays. They punted. Then the Ravens had that really long 95-yard drive, scored. Okay. But then Steelers go 3-and-out. Defense has to go right back on the field. And they end up still doing well. You know, we looked at that second series. Ravens tried to throw a curveball by throwing the ball a lot. It didn't work. Defense won. But then the offense goes 3-and-out again. Like, what are you doing? You're sending the defense right back out there, and then the defense gets gashed like this. So is this all on the defense? No, it's not. This is also on the offense. The offense has to do its job too. It's called complementary football. But at the same time, you know, you saw the adjustments. You saw some adjustments that were working, but it's like the Ravens always get one step ahead. And it also helps that they have Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson was a difference maker on this series. If it's anybody else back there at quarterback, this drive does not go the length that it did. So, anyway, appreciate you tuning in for this one. Next time, we will look at the final series of the first half, in which, spoiler alert, the Ravens scored a touchdown again to go up 21-0. We'll look at the next series, the next Chalk Talk. But for right now, enjoy your Monday. Put this one, let this one wash away after you're done watching. Go watch something funny. Get yourself in a better mood after this one. Catch you on the Flippity Flip. We'll see you later.